Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Tommy Gilmore with Noisy Bird Digital Marketing, and this is another edition of Spotlight Southern Utah. Today we are joined with Ashlyn and Joe Clarke, the owners of Honeycomb Cleaning. Thanks for being here, guys.
Yeah, of course.
So we're going to chat with them about their business, and the question I like to start out with, guys, is how you got started and sort of what got you interested in starting your own business with cleaning.
How I got started was I was a single mom, and it was way too hard to go pick up the kids from school on time and get done with work. It's pretty hard to find like reliable people to come and babysit. Also, our family lives in St. George, so it was really hard to rely on our family and our friends. So I just started up around my own cleaning business, so that way I could work around my own schedule and pick up my kids when I need to, because family always comes first.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Joe, how did you then get involved in it?
So we started dating. She had this business up and going. I was in construction, working 9 to 5. And at the time, Ashlyn wasn't having the best of luck with having good employees. And so one day I just talked with her and was like, do you want me to quit my job to help you? She's like, no, I can't ask you of that. And also, I'm unsure if we'll still be able to make all the money to pay our bills and live our life the way we have been. And I said, would it make your life easier if I were to quit? And she said yes. And so picked up the phone, put in my 2 weeks at my job, and have been here for 2 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just made the jump.
That's awesome.
For the best.
Yeah.
It was scary at first, but you just gotta take that leap.
Yeah.
It worked.
That's something common a lot of people tell me when I sit down with them is just it is really scary to start your own business, to make that leap like you're saying, but ultimately I think that the sooner you're willing to do that, the sooner that you start that journey, right? Of even if it fails, that's okay, at least I did it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. At least you gave it a try. You gotta give it 100%.
Yeah. And how long have you guys been in business for now?
We started in October of 2022. Is that right? Yeah.
Right.
Yep. October of 2022. So,
Okay. So like 2.5 years almost.
Yep.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
About 2.5 years.
And I'm sure just getting it off the ground wasn't the only challenge for you guys, right?
Yeah.
So what is something that you guys faced and have had to overcome, and what did you have to do that?
I would say one of the biggest ones is just finding the right employees that we trusted enough and that also actually cared about, giving a service that's worth paying for.
Yes, and having employees that you care about just as much as they care about you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to both have each other's back 100%.
Yeah.
Even on some days when we don't get along or someone's in a grumpy mood, or you always have to ask for input on how we can make our business better, because obviously we've never done this before. So it's all just a learning experience, and having employees has been a game changer. We love all of our employees. We do a really good job on trying to help and get our feet off the ground and make our business bigger, and we're very appreciative of them. We try our best to make them feel like they're appreciative.
That's awesome. And so what do you guys do to make them feel appreciated? Like what, if you don't have to speak specifically, but when you guys were brainstorming, like what kinds of things were you like, oh, that feels like our business, to be able to make them feel appreciated?
Definitely good pay.
Good pay, bonuses, and like sometimes we'll send them to like a dirty house. We're like, hey, we know that was rough, or sorry,
Yes.
let's go out to dinner. So we'll take them out to dinners and
Or buy them lunch at the cleanings. We pay gas every time.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, like, no one wants to drive around for fun.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to do it for money.
Mm-hmm.
So we always pay gas, and even if they take their own cars, or our work vehicles as well.
And so like we bought another work vehicle, so their own vehicles have less wear and tear.
Less mileage.
And so we're trying to give them as many avenues to make them on top, just how we are.
And we just make sure that they have weekends off
Okay.
with their families and friends. My husband and I will work every single weekend for the rest of our lives, but we're okay with it. The only time that we really ask if they can work on the weekends is if we really need the extra help. But
Yeah.
them being able to have the weekends off to spend time with their family and friends is very important to us.
Putting their work-life
Yes.
balance as a priority for
they
you guys.
come first, 100%.
I love that. So that, I mean, if you're watching and you own a business, these are great principles. I mean, talking about making sure that their pay is good, helping them feel valued. Like if the job is rough, you're like, hey, let's go out to dinner. I love that, or lunch or whatever. And then just those little incentives where you can, be it a bonus or, you know, hey, you get to take the work vehicle. All of these things that, you know, you don't have to change your own oil because you're driving around your car so much and things like that.
Yes, yeah.
So you guys are getting employees. You're covering most of southern Utah at this point, right?
Yes.
Do you go down to St. George as well as
Yep.
up the mountain?
Yep, we do St. George, Duck Creek, Canaryville, Cedar, Enoch, Parowan. Yeah, we do all of southern Utah. There really isn't a job that we don't do.
Yeah, because you don't just do residential. You do like commercial cleanings and move outs and all that fun stuff.
Yep, commercial move-outs, Airbnbs.
We have cleaned some factories, the swigs down in southern Utah, offices. We're just getting more contracts that are commercial that will better help us and our
girls,
employees.
yes.
And so obviously you two work together. You're working a lot of weekends together. I'm sure that that's tough for you two personally at this point, right? Like, is it hard to differentiate between work life and personal life? And what advice would you give if somebody's watching and they work with their spouse?
It is really hard some days.
Yeah, just like depending on like the work day, like even on the worst work days, like we're both stressed and already just at our wits' end, and then we'll try and go out and get some dinner or go on a hike or something just to kind of take a step back and be like, all right.
And we kind of switch it off to like every other day. Like he'll go get the kids from school, and then I'll go get the kids from school. So we're not always, so we can like take a break from the cleanings and take a break from just working and cleaning at the same time or whatever we were doing. We try to take turns on that, so we're not always doing the same thing every single time.
Yeah, because I think having time with each other and also time for yourself to just decompress just goes a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I could sleep in more.
One
But
day.
it's okay.
Not when you have kids, right?
No. Yeah, when your kids go to school, it's like, oh, now I have to wake up early and take my kids to school at the same time. I didn't know I was going to school too.
It definitely feels that way, huh?
Yeah, it does.
I like the advice of taking a little time for yourself and then also just taking time with each other that's not work related.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like kind of separating that time and making that line really clear, it sounds like has helped you guys.
Yep.
Yep.
Once it's 5 o'clock, we're off work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys like to do together during that like off time, that 5 to whatever
Oh
time?
man. We like to travel and hike and
Go to ghost towns,
Yeah,
take her side by side
adventure.
out. Pretty much anything that will get her blood flowing.
yeah,
Get 'em
anything outside. I feel like we're inside every day. So anything really outside we like to do. Kayaking or just
Seeing new cities.
seeing
New
new
things.
places. Experiencing life for what it really is.
Yeah. Well, that Southern Utah's great for that. That's for
Yes.
sure. Lots of outdoor stuff and lots of little abandoned towns that you can go explore
Yeah.
and see. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It helps us in the long run, just because everyone needs a hobby. Get out.
Yeah, decompress.
Yeah.
You have to survive.
Definitely, yeah. You can't just work all the time. Like I think that there is something to say to work really hard and grinding it out sometimes, but you also have to make that time for yourself and to have some fun and
Yes.
blow off some steam for sure.
Yes.
And so, speaking of that, you guys have dropped some great wisdom today as far as, making time for yourselves and hiring good employees, all of those things. I hope people sit and watch it a few times because there's been some really awesome things you've talked about. if you could go back and give yourself some advice in October or even September of 2022 before you started doing this, what advice would you give yourself?
Start it sooner and
That's what I was gonna say.
just go all in.
Mm-hmm.
It's extremely hard and extremely difficult to get up and running, but taking the leap is the biggest thing.
And then also just doing it with your spouse, you always have that support. They have your back, and you both have the same goals to where it just takes a lot of
You
stress
always
off.
flourish.
Yeah.
That's great advice. I think finding a good business partner is really important, and you guys obviously have the romantic side of it too, but in my case it's me and a business partner, and I think that is so important, just being able to have that back and forth, having somebody that you trust, things like that.
Yeah, even just someone to communicate with about how your day went.
Mm-hmm.
It really does change a lot of things.
Yeah, because it's tough to do this on your own.
Yes,
like to
it
go
really
out,
is.
it's kind of lonely and scary. You can't talk to your employees about it, a lot of it, things like that. So
Yeah, because there was times when I was in construction, she'd still be working till 9 or 10 at night, with the kids. I'm like, okay, I want to help you, but
I can't until after work. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Making the leap was the biggest thing for us, for sure.
yeah. So if you're watching, you want to start your own business, or maybe you're just kind of doing it on the side, I mean, you have to do it practically. You have to make it make sense. But I fully agree with what they're saying. The sooner the better. The sooner you can make that leap. If you're on the fence, throw yourself into it as much as you can, and then you'll see it as you'll feel when it's right.
Yep. And always find something that you like to do.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just start a business because you can. Make sure you're actually really invested into what you're doing and that you can do it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, it has to be something you really like because you're going to put a lot of time into it.
100%.
Well, guys, before we go, is there anything that you guys wanted to talk about that we haven't covered as far as your business, or anything that you have going that's exciting right now?
well, right now we're offering, what was it?
25% off first time cleanings until the start of March if you book with us. You can just book through our website or our Facebook or our phone number as well.
Perfect. Yeah, and so it's honeycombcleaning.com,
Yep.
right? And guys, that's a great offer. So go and claim 25% off. If you're, Super Bowl just happened. If you had a party, it probably messed the house up a little bit. Come get the house clean and do it before March to claim that 25% off. That's a good deal.
Thank you.
Well, guys, this has been another edition of Spotlight Southern Utah. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks to Joe and Ashlyn for letting me come and talk to you for a few minutes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. We'll see you guys next time.
See
Yeah.
ya.